This massive bank, which is the world's 17th largest bank with almost $2 trillion under management, Barclays, selects Tesla stock as a top pick in the sector and predicts it will go to $275 per share in 12 months.
Tesla shares rising again today and now up more than 70% on the year. Today's boost coming from a Barclays note, the firm initiating coverage on Tesla with an overweight rating and a $275 price target. Senior autos reporter Praz Romanian here with us now. Praz, what's the case here from Barclays on Tesla?
I mean, they're basically saying that, initiating here, Tesla stands out above all the picks in the auto space, which is kind of a big call, I think, from their point of view. Talking about how there's two clocks, a two-clock framework, right? So there's the first clock, which is the near term, that's cyclical, the economy, spending on inventory and cars and parts, things like that. And then the far term, which is secular changes, the big transformation in EVs, the huge sort of rollout, how much it's going to cost, how the society changes, right? So Dan Levy, the analyst there, says that Tesla is well positioned in both worlds, right? From a cash point of view, they have a huge cash war chest that they built up over the years. They're able to spend on their new cars there. And then also from a long-term kind of their EV and software prowess, they have sort of the ability to, they're the only company that's been mass-produced EVs, right? Like on a huge scale. And they have the sort of the software kind of backbone that they've been developing for many years. So those are two kind of bull cases for Tesla right here, right now.
The analyst also believes that Tesla is leading when it comes to software, of course. Every Model 3 or Y Tesla sells today not only benefits its near-term financials, but also furthers its long-term objectives, as those vehicles will remain critical to the product lineup and will be the basis for other future models. Thus, it faces no dilemmas in balancing the two clocks, the short-term objectives and the long-term objectives. It is not often, but you will see an analyst that can understand both the short-term implications and the long-term implications. This is quite refreshing. Everyone else is often usually focused just on the short term. What is Tesla stock going to do in the next 12 months instead of looking at what is Tesla stock going to do in the next 5 or 10 or even 15 years? He basically understands that every single incremental vehicle that Tesla sells is free research and development. Tesla gets better at manufacturing. Tesla gets more data from its fleet for full self-driving software. Tesla is able to have more cash to put back into the business. And because Tesla has such huge volume now, just for basically two models, for Model 3 and Model Y, the economies of scale really work towards Tesla's advantage. Because other automakers, they have 6.9 models just for one segment. I'm not kidding when I say that. GM announces plans for 30 new EV models by 2025. This was from November 19th, 2020. Where are these models? That is proving to be an inferior strategy to Tesla's strategy, where Tesla just focuses on making the fewest models possible, but make them really well at a really low cost, and that gives Tesla a huge advantage.
They don't want to say that the next Tesla, but they're sort of the only pure play EV that could possibly be the next Tesla because of the fact that they have sort of a moat there with their products, right? Like no one else is making adventure vehicles. They have their own sort of technology. They're really kind of cornering the market in that space, and they're pure play EV. So that's sort of what Dan is saying. Levy's saying that this is sort of the best positioned automaker to be the next Tesla, not that they're saying that they might be the next Tesla.
You just wait until Tesla releases the Cybertruck and let's see what happens to Rivian then.
I love these cars. I'm seeing more of them than I ever thought I would. But what is that moat? What is that unique technology that Rivian has that others don't have?
Well, I think it comes down to the fact that it's both product and tech, right? So from a product point of view, there's no other EV pickup or SUV with 4 motors on each corner.
Tesla, by the way, will have a Cybertruck with 4 motors as well. That is what the initial production will have, with independent ultra-fast response torque control of each wheel.
They have their own software. They use different components, different suppliers to make their batteries and their motors, but they're also kind of bespoke to them, right? And they're kind of cornering that market. It's not a work truck, it's an adventure truck.
I think the Cybertruck is going to be both an adventure truck and a work truck because it is made out of stainless steel. And that thing is going to be indestructible.
And I think also from a technology point of view, they have a lot of cool little features like the gear tunnel in the truck. Like I said, the 4 motors at each wheel kind of give you like pure, they call it torque vectoring on each angle. I mean, this is all nerdy stuff, but it's really
Did you
cool
drive
stuff.
one? Have you driven one?
Yes, we reviewed one. I thought it was incredible. It drives like a sports car, but it can kind of go over loose gravel, rocks, like floating over the ground.
Cybertruck will also be able to do that. There are 1 million reservations, over 1 million reservations for the Cybertruck. That will be a huge addition to Tesla's bottom line. Looking ahead, Levy and Barclays expect in the far term that EV penetration will hit 48% by 2030, but the actual number I think is going to turn out to be higher than that. With automakers embracing a more vertical integration of their supply chains for raw materials and software development with autonomous tech, for instance. Levy implicitly acknowledges that Tesla is the best positioned in this all-important far-term outlook. Here's a simple way to know that initial estimate of 48% in 2030 for EV adoption is going to be rather conservative. That is especially true if we just look at the US. Now, pay attention here that this includes battery electric vehicles, but also plug-in hybrids. However, in Norway in 2022, 79.3% of all new cars sold in Norway were 100% battery electric powered vehicles. So Norway is at about 80% currently if we just look at battery electric vehicles. Once people have options of good battery electric vehicles, they will not go with a hybrid. They will just choose a battery electric vehicle. Especially with EVs getting better, the range improving, the battery costs declining, it won't make much sense to have 2 different systems in the same vehicle. Also, the car is safer, better to drive when you have just one system because it is also lighter. So when you look at the US hit 5% here. So if you just count the years, 2023 is going to be here, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 2030 is roughly where we could expect US to be if US follows this Norway's example. But because EVs are getting better so fast, and then Norway was transitioning, 5 years ago, there weren't many good EVs, and Tesla was just rolling out its first mass market EVs. So, because people have more and better options now, some of the countries are actually ahead of where Norway was 8-7 years ago. For example, China, Denmark, they are going faster than Norway. For example, also Sweden and Iceland. So don't get surprised as the share of EVs increases that the costs of producing an internal combustion engine vehicle increase, which makes it less desirable to buy a gas-powered vehicle. Because why buy a more expensive internal combustion engine vehicle, which is slower, it is not as good, it is not as safe, then an EV has good range already, especially in the years to come. The ranges will get better and these cars will become cheaper. Why buy an internal combustion engine vehicle when you know the resale value is also going to plummet faster than that of an EV? And on top of all of that, why would you even go to a dealership? Ford dealer sells customers pre-order Mustang Mach-E, offers him higher priced replacement instead. Why would you go to this dealership? In July 2022, Ryan signed a Ford Mustang Mach-E purchase agreement for $70,000 plus tax. At the time, the dealership noted it would be a few months for the car to be delivered, according to comments by Lopez. A few weeks later, he calls the dealership for an update, and the dealer had no record of the car ever being ordered. In an attempt to find out what happened with his order, Ryan contacted Ford Canada and they confirmed his order was in the system and would be ready in December. They even told him he was able to monitor his car's production progress online. When the car was delivered, Dam's Ford Lincoln confirmed the vehicle was in their lot, but gave Lopez the run around for days, saying they could not find the vehicle. As it turns out, the dealer had sold it to another customer, but Lopez was offered other ICE vehicles or another Mach-E, but at a new higher price since there was a price adjustment since he placed his original order. For Ryan Lopez, the experience left a bitter taste in his mouth. He is requesting a credit for the cost difference of the Mustang Mach-E between the order and the delivery, about $10,000. However, Ford Canada said in a letter that while they regret the situation, it is a sale between Ryan Lopez and the dealer, so they cannot help. Literally, in my opinion, it would appear that $10,000 have been stolen from this guy. The good thing about most EVs, although not in this case with Ford, is you don't need to deal with any of these stealerships. You just place an order online, like at Tesla's website, and you don't need to haggle, negotiate, and play these games. The car just comes. Although you may experience some delays, but at least Tesla will not steal $10,000 from you, even if they increase prices. And this is the Tesla stock buying opportunity explained by Elon Musk. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.